what has been your best, most awesome experience in the country, Rachel?
Whew, the best experience I've had in the country. So I'm going to take it back like 11 years, 12 years. When I first came down here, and I was down here with work, and we had one free day, and my company was like, we are going to pay for you to do this excursion. And so I ended up just doing Holchan and Shark Alley. And I know it's like such a corny thing to say, but doing it for the first time, especially when I've been snorkeling other places, but doing it for the first time here is unbelievable, really unbelievable. And I think a lot of times we just get so spoiled because how many times since have we gone and we're like, oh yeah, there's the sharks again, there's the stingrays again. But that first time that you jump into the water and you have the nurse sharks around you, it is a really, really memorable experience. And that was over a decade ago, but I still think about it and still have the pictures on my phone from when I was in the water with the marine life. And so I'd say that was like the most memorable one I've had. But one of my favorites that I just am always referring people to, and I know I mentioned this in a couple of episodes ago, but it's the Bioluminescence tour in Hopkins, was awesome. We had just such a fun experience with it. It was over COVID, so it was just the two of us on the boat with the captain. And remember, they also had into like a wildlife tour as well. So he has the lights and the guide shining it onto the animals, and so you can see the the crocodiles over here. You can see the birds up here. And then by the time we got to the lagoon and jumped in, I jumped in because I had to go to the bathroom. Didn't realize that we could actually jump into it. But it was incredible, really incredible, just to have that in the backyard of Belize. Was awesome. No, you're good.
Have you ever used those guys again?
Yes, I went on a second tour with them.
You did?
So I went back to them.
Well?
Just as amazing. We had another couple on that boat with us at that time, so it wasn't as personal, but I'm sure that you could rent the boat, just the two and do a private tour.
The entire tour. But you want to mention them?
Oh yeah, Happy Go Lucky Tours. Happy Go Lucky, the Luckie tours in Hopkins, and I don't remember their names. Do you remember their names?
I know it was a couple, and they
Lucky is the guy's name. Yeah, Lucky.
Was it Lucky?
Lucky is his name. I don't remember his wife's name.
I know.
But it
had like
so
an off-grid home.
Yes.
And it was such a cute little family-run business.
Yeah, exactly. What has been your favorite?
That has to... Well, I'll be honest with you. The first time I went into the Shark Alley and Holchan, it was with Cynthia.
Oh, no way. How long ago was this?
It was
2017.
Yeah.
All right.
She was working for My Alliance. I went with Cynthia, and she needed someone to help her pass her the stuff. And then afterwards, when she was finished, she's like, you can get in. And I got in. And that was my first experience out there. I was actually with the Holchan crew, right? We were with the Rangers there. Here's a funny story. I had never seen a turtle in my life. Not in the wildlife, not an actual turtle. And I had an iPhone 8, a brand new iPhone 8. And the thing said it was waterproof. So I went in.
Probably not for salt water, but let's keep hearing it.
I went in with my iPhone to snorkel. I'm snorkeling. I'm taking all this, and the first time that you're looking at all this, oh my goodness. And I went in snorkeling, and my phone is recording. It's recording. It's working. And I remember the ranger is like, are you sure you want to give it? I'm like, well, you only live once. I still hold the phone to digicel. But I went in, and I saw this turtle. And bear in mind, turtles in the land are slow.
Yeah.
But inside the water, it's a different thing. But I was down already for probably a couple seconds. And I said, if I go up to catch breath and come back, that turtle is gone. So I said, heck no. It was probably 10, 15 feet. I'm not familiar with how that. But I went in. I just went down. And I'm snorkeling beside the turtle. And I'm just recording. And I know, the button that automatically takes this picture. So I'm just taking in it. And this is 10, 15 feet down on an iPhone. So I still have those pictures. So I have those pictures. But bear in mind, I'm not a professional diver nor snorkeling. At a point, my brain was like, oh, you're out of oxygen. And I'm like, holy shit. And I look up and I'm like, oh, frick. So I make sure I don't have any corals down and where I was, and the turtle was already gone. So I throw myself up And I'm going up and I'm going up. At this point, bear in mind, from when I threw myself up, I was out of oxygen already.
Oh
and
my
I'm
gosh.
going up and I'm going up. And it's like, I'm like, this is it. This is it. And when I get up, I go, and then Cynthia's in the boat and she's just looking at me. I'm like, she's like, instead of you coming to help me, I'm going to be there and one end up having to rescue you. And I'm like, oh my God. But that was a fun experience that I worked it. I still have those pictures. I
So
still
your
look at those
phone
videos.
worked afterwards.
My phone worked afterwards. I rinsed
Wow.
it with cold water, clean water just to clean it out. And that phone worked pretty great for a while. And it wasn't until I actually broke it that it stopped working. But
That's impressive.
I mean, I gotta give it to iPhone for that 8 that they really did. But bear in mind, it was a brand new iPhone, like with the factory sealed everything. It wasn't like a refurbished one or anything. So that was a cool thing. Don't try it though. Don't
no,
say jump.
mine went swimming a few weeks ago and it didn't work after.
But that was my first time. Have you been to the Blue Hole already?
Yeah, not by diving or snorkeling, but we did it on Tropic Air.
Really?
This was a while. This was like 2015, and it was incredible. That would probably be one of my most notable experiences.
So you hadn't
by air.
gone on the boat yet?
No, and I get seasick, so I was like, I don't know if I can make 3.5 hours happen. And like when you look at like pictures of Belize and you see the Blue Hole, you always see it from above, right? So I was like, well, I prefer to see it from above and not get seasick, and it was just like the pictures, right? There was no editing of those pictures when they're posted. It's unbelievable.
It is.
You've been.
I was just there.
Oh, that's right. Yes,
three
a few
weeks
weeks
ago?
ago. Yeah.
So I had put a picture out for Half Moon Key from Travel Belize they shared it, and I said, anyone is going to the Blue Hole and to Half Moon Key anytime soon? And I just put it out. I didn't get any response. But then about a couple days later, one of the representatives of Belize Pro Dive sent me a screenshot that they were going to the Blue Hole. Then the very next day, and I reached out to the guy. I had him on Instagram. I reached out to him and he gave me the price. And then I was like, I sent the screenshot to Cynthia. And I'm like, Cynthia, let's go. It was a 10 in the night.
Well, that's because you were messaging me that night too. You're like, I'm going to the Blue Hole tomorrow. Can I use your GoPro? And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it's late, but go pick it up in the morning.
And I did. And we went. Bear in mind, even at the price that those guys give, and I'm giving them a shout out because, first of all, they gave me an incredible deal as a local, me and Cynthia, and it was still not cheap. I mean, I'm a real estate agent, but I'm out here making thousands of dollars, so it was still not that cheap for me. But I said, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Because it is an expensive trip.
It is an expensive trip, and I get it. It's 3 hours and a half out.
Yep.
For a full day, you have to have, there's a specific requirement of guys that they need to have on the boat.
Per number
of tourists that they're taking. So
or
it's not like a
people.
free willy-nilly just go. And that's why there's only a couple companies that go to the Blue Hole that have the big enough boats to do so and crew.
Right.
But okay, so we went, and on the way there, it was funny because one of the helpers, I forgot his name, but he was late 20 minutes. Right? He was late 20 minutes and he was getting it from the guys. They were not stopping giving him shit for it. But I gotta say, I think because he was late, we managed to spot a whale.
Oh my god.
A baby whale. And we have the videos now. We'll be playing it while we have it. The guy, Ian, managed to put out his drone. He managed to take drone footage of the whale. And we managed to see it in person, which that in itself is like it's an experience in itself. So then we kept going. We reached the Blue Hole, and I'm like, this is breathtaking. It truly is breathtaking.
How does it look by boat?
It feels weird because you're looking at eyesight. But remember, I have my drone.
Right, so you're able to go up.
The weather, it was an amazing day. The weather, it was just like handed out to me in a silver platter. The weather, there was not an ounce of breeze. The boat wasn't moving, so I was comfortable enough to take off my drone. I took my drone up to the maximum that it can go, which is 1,600, almost 1,700 feet. And it went out to like about 4,000 feet in distance because it can go pretty far distant, but not high. And I was taking videos and I'm in the bow of the boat in front and I have a towel in me so I can see the screen of my phone. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, Jesus Christ. It truly, then, so you see it from above. It truly is a religious experience seeing the blue hole at least once in your lifetime. And at that point, I knew I was so lucky and blessed. First, to have the right contacts or to at least have known that and to have had the money to do so and went and experienced it. It was truly a phenomenal experience.
Yeah.
It was the first time. Do I think I would go again? Maybe if the opportunity comes, probably in a couple years, because it's kind of like a thing. But
Right.
we had a girl we made friends with, Corey. She had been coming to Belize for the past 12 years. You know what's the one thing she comes into? Apart from
Blue hole?
diving? Blue hole. And it's like, we probably just, whatever.
Right.
But for some people, it's like, it's their thing that they do for their life.
Right.
And could she probably be spending her money going somewhere else? Probably.
Right.
But every year she comes, she goes with the same Belize Pro dive, takes the same experience, and it's always like it's the first time.
Wow.
So it's a beautiful experience. They then took us to Half Moon Key, which was on the bucket list. It was an amazing experience. I got the drone up, I got some footage. It was awesome. And then we went to the gardens, right? The garden, which is the diving and the snorkeling area. It was aquarium. Who said gardens?
You?
I did. Okay. Well, it was the aquarium and it was amazing. Bear in mind, I was just snorkeling, but I imagine how diving there would be a lot more awesome. So that was my first experience with the Blue Hole and the Half Moon Key. It's completely worth it. Again, I give kudos to when they merit. And I'm not saying that there's probably not other good diving companies, but at least for the service that Belize Pro Dive gave me and Cynthia as locals, and they treated us well. They gave us, they made sure that we had fun. They looked out for us. It was an amazing experience, and I got a big up for that. It was they did one of my bucket lists there.
Oh, that is a neat experience. And it's nice to know that there are companies that are doing that, right? That are making it more affordable, that are making it an option for you to get out there and do it. Because it is expensive, and just generally there's the tourist price or the price that they really need to get in order to cover expenses. Gas is expensive.
And make profit.
Yeah, you gotta make profit from it. Otherwise, why are you in business, right?
Exactly.
But it's unbelievable. I'm so happy. And the videos that you guys got are awesome. Really awesome. I know they're on the page, and so people can scroll and find them and all of that. But it really is a remarkable experience.
And you realize how blessed we are here in Belize, having so much beauty. And again, to what we talked in the episode before about environment and all that, comes into play. And I think the more people discover or experience those things, the more they realize how much we need to protect our oceans. But moving up to the places that we've been and the things that we've done outside of San Pedro, because I know we spoke a little bit about island and foods and places to eat here. But for example, myself, when I came to Belize first, when my parents decided to move to Belize, we did this whole expat kind of thing that expats sometimes do, where they come to San Ignacio, which is Cayo, then a couple different places to discover it. That's what we did. Did you do that or no? You came to the island?
No, it was really good. I was just here, so I was working with a real estate developer, and so I was coming back and forth here to the island all the time, and I don't think I got to Cayo maybe for about 4 or 5 years.
Really? From being here?
From being here. And everything that we were doing was focused in San Pedro,
right?
You
were dived into work.
Exactly. And it's not like, I had reasons to really go out to Cayo, but I think it was like 2017 maybe. Yeah, about 5 or 6 years that it took me to actually get to the mainland and really explore more around.
And it's incredible because the mainland has so much opportunities more. For example, like me, when my family came, we lived a couple weeks or maybe months in San Ignacio. We lived in Belmopan. We lived in Corozal, and then we lived in San Pedro. And obviously, for purpose for economy wise, my parents decided to choose Corozal because it was close to San Pedro where my dad worked. Cost of living is cheaper, rent is cheaper, and my dad had accessibility to coming to Corozal, come and go at a more reasonable price. Fun story, put it in there. When I first came to San Pedro, there weren't any paved roads. So it was all sand.
Like Kikaker.
And I managed to, and I don't think Tropicare can send me the bill anymore, but I managed to sneak into a Tropicare flight from San Pedro to Corozal. So here's the story, right? Yeah, I managed to do so. Bear in mind, I was 6 years old. I was like this, yay, small.
So innocent.
So innocent, so pure. And well, my parents, we would go through the boat, right? Because that's the most affordable way. It's like
so
50
your parents
bucks.
were on the boat and you went on
No. Not like that. It wasn't Home Alone type of thing. It was, my dad said, you know what? Let's go back on the plane. On the boat, they didn't charge for me. Because they said, okay, it's not taking space. And you can go on the lap, you know.
Yep.
Obviously, we weren't a high-income family and what's not. So my dad was always trying to figure out how we can save some money. And they came up with a plan and they said, well, we'll buy the tickets for him, my mom, and my bigger brother. He was much older than me. And then we'll just walk you up to the plane. And if they say something, then we're going to pretend like we didn't know and then we'll come and pay the tickets, right? So they were trying to sneak me in. I hear they call out the flight and I see the flight lady with the pilot. They're going into the plane. So I'm going behind the lady. And the lady probably didn't even notice me or didn't. She said, yeah, whatever. So when the pilot came into the airport, came into the airplane, the girl got distracted and started talking to him, something there. And I saw my opportunity and I sprinted into the airplane and I hid under the seat. I'm like looking at it and hoping she didn't see me. And then the other people were coming. So from the window of the seat, I'm seeing my mom and my dad and my brother looking everywhere for me. I didn't tell them this. I didn't tell them this plan. I was like, I'm getting in there.
But they're still gonna board anyway.
They were gonna board. And they're looking everywhere for me, and I'm in the window. I'm already seated, and people are already in, and I'm like, "How's up, guys?" I'm like, "Hello, yeah, bye, peace." So that was the time I got a free flight from San Pedro to Corozal on Tropicare. So I don't think Tropicare can send me a bill anymore. Big up Tropic.
Sponsorship. No.
For 20 years later, sponsorship.